This week in digital photography, we'll be taking a look at camera clubs and the role that they play in lifelong learning in photography. Camera clubs are something near and dear to my heart, as I've been a member of several different clubs over the years, and I really do believe that they play a significant role in helping us become better photographers over time. This week, we will be introduced to several photographers that are colleagues and acquaintances of mine who are active amateur or professional photographers involved in camera clubs of various different types across the country. And I've asked each of them to share a little bit about their background and why they choose to join a camera club and what they see as the primary benefits of joining a camera club.
Hi, my name is Joy Underhill, and I've known Jim for a few years through the Finger Lakes Photography Guild. That's the camera club that both of us belong to.
My name is Monroe Payne. Jim Hooper asked me to say a few words about the value of camera clubs.
My name is Sharon Turner, and I belong to Flower City Art Center's Darkroom Club in Rochester, New York.
My name is Dwight Foltz. I am an amateur photographer. I belong to the Genesee Valley Photography Society as well as the Finger Lakes Photography Guild.
My name is Carolyn Todd Larson, and I live in State College, Pennsylvania, home of Penn State University.
Hi, my name is Melody Burry. I'm a professional photographer and journalist.
I've been in the flea pig, as I like to call it, for about 10 years, now serve as secretary.
A little bit about me. I am currently the chair of the professional photographers at the Finger Lakes, and I'm a past president of PPS-NYS, a Professional Photographer Society of New York State.
I've been hosting Darkroom Club from home via Zoom since August of 2020 so that we could continue to meet during COVID.
I have always enjoyed photography, but never seriously pursued it until digital cameras came along. At the time, I would head to Acadia National Park in Maine for summer vacation. There, the Kodak company sponsored daily photo walks for free, and I learned a lot from two professional photographers about composition and digital cameras. That created a thirst for more knowledge, and 12 years ago, I discovered the State College Photo Club.
One of the reasons I joined Darkroom Club because I wanted to stay in touch with the many different ways that photographers choose to photograph their world. Members use all different kinds of cameras, pinhole, toy camera, 35mm film, digital, cell phone. They also use many different processes, traditional darkroom printing, calotype, cyanotype, digital prints. They have all different ways of presenting their work.
So I shoot and write almost every day. But the problem with that is when I'm juggling deadlines and doing things that I may not choose to do, but they're a way to earn money, you fall into a bunch of ruts and maybe some bad habits of just getting the job done and doing it more mechanically than artistically. It's easy to get functional about what you're doing instead of creative. So I joined Finger Lakes Photography Guild kind of as a way to shake things up, to help me get out of my ruts and my routines and maybe unlearn some bad habits that I had collected along the way. To discover some new techniques, maybe a different way of looking at things, and gain honest feedback on what I was doing and the creative product that I was putting out. That's exactly what happened.
I would not be anywhere close to the photographer I am without the association of talented people. I had been doing weddings and portraits and all of that normal stuff, if you will, for a working photographer who's making his living photographing people. And then I attended the photo workshop, the PPS-NYS photo workshop. I met a man named Michael Barton, who I otherwise would never have met. And he encouraged me and of course his entire class, to experiment with artistic means of adding to and playing with your photographs. And the art bug kind of hit me pretty hard. So I went out of my way to attend conferences and weekend presentations of every photographic artist that I could get my hands on. These are all people who are at the top of their game, and they want more than anything else to share their expertise and their knowledge and their love of photography with you.
What the club has done for me is expand my repertoire of photography. I was initially interested mostly in landscapes, but different competition themes encouraged me to broaden into new subject matter, such as nature, or abstracts, or photojournalism, or monochrome.
I love the educational opportunities that are available through a guild or through a group of like-minded artists. I love the new ideas. I love the prompts to be creative. They're regular, they're systematic, and they inspire me to do things that I would not do otherwise. I may not think of them. It's a way to get valuable feedback, which is always a good thing, even if it's a little painful sometimes. It just prompts you to be better, but it also affirms maybe what you're doing right, that you don't have enough confidence or don't see necessarily as your greatest asset.
I knew very little about photography. I didn't come from a film background when I first started, and it was invaluable to me in buying my first camera and subsequent lenses and other things that I use in photography.
I joined to learn more about photography, having first joined Genesee Valley. However, I thought I was a pretty good photographer and I knew a lot of stuff until I joined and began to learn and to learn and to learn more. There is so much to photography that is not one that the amateur understands or knows about unless you get involved with other photographers, particularly those who have been doing it for a long time and have more experience than I did.
All different aspects of photography, and I find this very stimulating, and it helps my own creativity to be viewing this work and talking about it with fellow photographers.
Most importantly, through competing, I have received valuable feedback from judges and members about what they liked and how to improve.
I have learned a great deal. I have been to various seminars and to something called the Can-Am Photo Expo, which is part of the Niagara Frontier Regional Camera Club, also known as the NFRCC.
The workshops I took through the club increased my software editing skills, and they helped me to fine-tune my camera settings for different subjects.
Plus, it was very helpful in knowing places locally and even nationally to take photos. There are so many beautiful places in the Finger Lakes, and I'm always impressed that people in our guild find these places, share information, and share knowledge about photography in general. I've even taken some international trips that people have also helped with to say, oh, you might want to check this place out, and that sort of thing.
I also love to go on group shoots with fellow photographers. We may or may not interact with each other. It's kind of a solitary effort, photography is, but we're prompted to go to the same place for the same purposes, and then we come home with a whole different creative perspective on what just happened. That's really, that's exciting.
I find that I continue to learn more and more about photography, also about the products that are used to edit the photos that I take, including a product called Lightroom and also a product called Photoshop.
We meet monthly, and we also sponsor photography field trips. About half of our meetings are devoted to workshops to improve our skills. The other half are competitions or feedback sessions.
Also, it gives me a great place to share my photos and with people who appreciate them and can help me to edit them and make them better.
Photographers are, as far as I'm concerned, some of the most giving and sharing people in the world. There's nothing that excites a photographer, myself included, more than teaching someone perhaps the elements of composition, and then all of a sudden they get it.
Another thing about the Darkroom Club is the wonderful conversations that happen while we're viewing the work. And that's the power of photography, observing the world and recording it and being able to look at it again and talk about it.
My advice to you is keep your eyes and ears open. If you hear of anyone giving a presentation on photography anywhere, make it your business to go to it. Now, even if it's a program on weddings and you're a landscape photographer, let me assure you, you will find something in that program that is going to apply to your photography. Image is image, light is light, composition is composition. It doesn't matter which piece of photography you're involved in. Any information that you get, you'll be able to find that gem, that kernel of inspiration from it.
And one of the things that I get out of that, I get several things out of that, but first of all is the camaraderie of people who are interested in photography and learning more about photography.
I remember the first time that I went to a meeting with other photographers, and they were geeking out on apertures and focal lengths and gear and their latest outing. And I looked around and I thought, oh my goodness, I found my people. We don't necessarily have the same backgrounds or the same interests. Everybody specializes in something different, but they're definitely your people because they care about the same things you do. They care about the click of the camera shutter. They care about the beautiful image, the different perspective, the editing that you've just learned a new way to do. They care about all that, and it's fun.
Finally, I have made lifelong friends through the club. If it weren't for the club, I would have never learned about the Photographic Society of America. A fellow club member encouraged me to attend their annual conference with her in Spokane, Washington. In addition to going on fabulous photo tours, I met a fellow photographer, John, who recently became my husband.
If you are interested in photography, or think you might be interested in, join one of these clubs. Find out what they do, what their focus is, and I am certain that you will enjoy what they bring to the table.
Our photo club sums up our mission in 4 words: learn, compete, improve, and enjoy. I hope you will consider joining a club so you can experience all 4 of those words.
I am always inspired to push harder and farther than if I happen to be just out by myself. So I recommend a guild. I recommend a group. I recommend one other friend that you partner up with, even just to keep yourself sharp, keep yourself seeing new things and going new places.
I feel like I belong to a community through Darkroom Club.